What's up, vinyl community? Happy New Year for those that I haven't chatted with. Hope everyone's doing well. I know some of you on the East Coast are bunkering up with some crazy weather right now. So cheers, hope everyone had a nice time with their families and everything. Everyone's doing well. In the city here in Montreal, it's actually not too bad. But surrounding the city, it's still blowing wind like crazy and it's snowing, but it's not by any means the worst I've seen. So, thought I would jump on and share my Boxing Day finds. Definitely a few records I picked up before Boxing Day. I wasn't doing a lot of buying before Christmas, but there's a few random things I bought that I haven't shown, but I don't think they're in this pile. This is one of them. This is a record that many of you may know. I guess I discovered this. I don't know who posted this, but anyway, the first person, I don't know how I discovered it. I know Soil Pimp on Instagram had it in his top records of 2017, and that's maybe how I discovered it. This is Wildflower. This is, I think, the third pressing, or no, maybe it was Andrew actually. Anyway, incredible record. This is what's playing right now. Doesn't sound like a record from 2017. The original pressings were just like all white. I think there was two of them. I don't know if they were different, but this one has a bit more artwork, but there's like no liner notes, no track listing on the cover or anything. But the music is incredible. So I know, Tom, you tracked a copy down in New York when you were there. If you guys can get a copy of this, I ordered mine from the UK. Shipping actually was way less than I was expecting, so I highly recommend this if you're into kind of like, anyway, this kind of jazz. You can hear it. It's not too free, spiritual feel, tribal feel. It's not like wild. This is kind of it's very I think it just, yeah, it's trio. They have saxophone, bass, and drums. That's all. It doesn't not overwhelming, just beautiful, beautiful music. Okay, so I met up, my favorite store here, 33 Tours, every year has a Boxing Day sale. This year there wasn't as big a sale, but still wanted to go check it out. I had some records, you know, lying around in the stacks that I was like, if they're there on Boxing Day, I'll grab them. So yeah, I kind of had an idea. I didn't have a lot of time, so I kind of just grabbed some stuff. Might have been a bit more selective if I had more time, but I just kind of grabbed a stack and pieced out. Although I did have the chance to meet up with a fellow vinyl community member. I don't think, he's not on YouTube, he wasn't really on Facebook, he's more through Instagram. Anyway, his Instagram handle escapes me exactly. It's DJJH or something. He's from Toronto, and he had reached out to me through Instagram, and he was like, "Oh, let's meet up. I'm always in Montreal for Boxing Day." We had like sort of exchanged a few words last year. Anyway, point being, he was there. We chatted. He pulled out some records for me that I would have skipped right over, and I passed off, I think, one or two to him. So yeah, it was cool chat. He's into a lot of gospel on Instagram he posts, but also really into jazz. So yeah, some cheap heat he passed off to me. Anyway, the biggest find was one that I don't know how it got into the stacks, because I go to that store pretty often and never saw it go by. I know it was one that hadn't been there too long based on their cataloging system, their numbers. But David, this guy, collector from Toronto who I was chatting with, we were chatting, I had kind of like pulled out the records I wanted, not having time to go through their whole jazz section, every record, like he was, pulled this out, and he was like, "Do you have this?" And I was like, "Nope, don't have it, but I definitely need it and want it." So yeah, and super reasonably priced. So anyway, this is the record that I had been wanting, but just had never found and hadn't bought online. Not like impossible rare record, but I was really surprised to find this locally for a really reasonable price, especially with the sale. So this is Clifford Jordan Quartet, Night of the Mark. and this is on Muse Records. Clifford Jordan, Cedar Walton, Sam Jones, Billy Higgins, and it has, the track is the John Coltrane track, written by Bill Lee. So yeah, but really happy to find this really cool cover as well, and it's in impeccable shape. Okay, picked up a bunch of Human Arts Ensemble, Charles Bobo Shaw. They're kind of mixed, it's all mixed up here, there's no method to the madness, but Human Arts Ensemble, Whisper of Dharma. I haven't spun this one yet. Well, I haven't spun all of these, I spun a lot of them, but there's a lot of records, but this one, it's a reissue from 1976. I think this was a private press, originally 1972, so looking forward to getting into that one. This is, I didn't realize it was vocals. I kind of just looked quickly and I saw some of the musicians and grabbed it, but I actually enjoyed it. It's on, I believe, Tom, you told me it was, what's his name's label? Rashid Ali's label. So this is What Would It Be Without You, Jolie Wilson and Bond Street. And you have Ronnie Boykins on here, Monty Waters, Ryo Kawasaki, who I don't know, and Jolie Wilson, and you have Rashid Ali as well. So, and it wasn't expensive, you know, I think this was like $10 Canadian, so I'm glad I picked that up. This one I have not cracked yet. Actually, it's a new record. Well, it's a reissue. Jazzman Holy Grail series. I don't even know what it is. It's Owen Marshall in the Naked Truth. So this is number 475 of 1,000. I bought 2 Jazzman Holy Grail series on that day, and it was the other one I listened to blew my mind. So I'm looking forward to spinning this one. So this is an example of a record where it's like I had seen it, it wasn't expensive, but I was like, oh, if it's there on Boxing Day, I'll get it. So this is another Charles Bobo Shaw and the Human Arts Ensemble featuring Joseph Bowie, Junk Trap on Black Saint from 1978. Haven't spun this one yet either. Picked up a couple Shannon Jackson records. Heavy stuff. Street Priest on Moore's Music, not for everyone. I listened to this one, I think. Not like, I don't love this. I think I'll need to spin it a few more times and probably appreciate it some more, but it's not necessarily my favorite. But it's still cool, and I really like this cover. And that's the other one I picked up on About Time Records. Haven't spun this one yet. Another cool cover. You have Vernon Reid. Oh, I didn't even look at the lineup. Is it the same on this one? So this one, Eye on You, you have Billy Bang on violin, Bayard Lancaster on sax, Charles Brackeen on sax, Vernon Reid on electric guitar, Melvin Gibbs on bass, and Erasto Vasconcelos on percussion. So that should be dope. I don't think this one, yeah, this is the one I listened to, does not have Billy Bang or Charles Brackeen. This one's from 1980. So yeah, looking forward to checking that out. This is one that I had seen at the store and was interested in. Then when I was rewatching Vance Ecofunk's videos, I saw he was talking about it. And then I saw that, Chris Cole, you had posted this on Instagram a ways back. When I saw one of your posts, I ended up scrolling through your old posts, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a spin. Another cool cover. This is Pancho Sanchez. Pancho on Discovery Records. Well, it says Trend Records and Discovery here, but yeah, it's Discovery DS799. So some, I guess, Latin jazz. Looking forward to that. This is one I had almost bought, but then had put it back into the stacks a few months ago. Pierre Leduc et son Quatuor. Roland Haynes on bass on this. And this is, I listened to this one a couple times, and it was, side one was good, but I was not like blown away. But side two really blew me away, actually. 3 tracks, Soya, Emo, and Poussière d'étoile, which is Stardust. But it says it's written by Pierre Leduc and then Roland Haynes. They're all written by Pierre Leduc except one track written by Roland Haynes. But this is on the RCI label, so Radio-Canada International, which is CBC, which is Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So we come across these fairly regularly. This is, so RCI is like the French division, the Quebec division of the CBC. And David, the gentleman I met up with from Toronto, really collects Canadian jazz, and he asked me to look out for some RCIs for him. So yeah, I have a bunch. I know, Chris, you love them. I know it's not as easy to find in the States, but when I find them for a good price, I always grab them. This is one I picked up, Sonny Murray on Shandar. Listen to this one, heavy stuff. I'm gonna have to give this a few more listens to process it. But yeah, Bob, Beb, this says Beb Guérin. I could have sworn it was Bob Guérin. So yeah, this is, oh, and Ken Torade. Anyway, intense free jazz recorded in France on this French label, Shandar, by Sonny Murray, rest in peace, who recently passed away, I believe. This is an example of one of the ones I would have skipped right over that was pointed out to me. This is Jessica Jennifer Williams, Orgonomic Music. I started listening to this, was having some problems with the turntable in the other room, so didn't get through it all, only coming out of one channel, but I just fixed that up this morning. So yeah, I can't really tell you anything about this. This says it was recorded in 1971, released Clean Cuts Records, which is kind of, has an imitation Coca-Cola label, and this has Eddie Henderson, and that's pretty much the only musician I know on here. But from what I listened to the first side. This was really cool, for like, I think $3 or $4. Awful cover, up there with worst covers of all times. On Steeplechase, Con Jamal, Johnny Diani, Pierre, I don't know how you say that, Dorde. And this is not mind-blowing by any means. It's pretty straightforward, but it's very nice. Especially when I listened to this the first time I woke up, right when I woke up, put it on, and very calm, beautiful music. I'm not saying this is essential by any means, but I definitely enjoyed listening to this. 1985. This is really cool. It's the first one of these that I have, the Blue Note reissue series. This is Andrew Hill, 1 for 1. And you have some incredible, musicians on here. And it's from 2 different sessions, I believe. So yeah, one of these sessions was from 1969 and one 1970. But Andrew Hill, Benny Maupin, Charles Tolliver, Ron Carter, Ben Riley, Freddie Waits, and you have, so 3 different sessions. And one was from 1965, so that's the one with Joe Henderson, Freddie Hubbard, Richard Davis, and Joe Chambers. So that's really cool. And this, one of them is with, includes a unique combination of jazz quartet coupled with a string quartet. Which one was it that had the string quartet? Oh yeah, so it's the one from 1969. But I listened to this and really enjoyed it. I wasn't paying attention to like which side I was listening to. I kind of just put it on and let it go. But everything I heard was really great music, as you would expect from those musicians in that time period. Why they were never released, I cannot answer that, and it's a mystery to me. This is the other Charles Bobo Shaw, so I picked up 3 of these. This one I listened to, we'll listen to it again. Enjoyed it, didn't blow me away, not essential, but some good music. So of course you have Lester Bowie, Hamid Blewett, Julius Hemphill, Joseph Bowie, Abdul Wadoud, and Dominic Gaumont, who I don't know, on guitar. But this is also on Moore's Music from 1978. Moore's Music being from Germany. Picked up volume 1 of this, had volume 2. Volume 2 that I have is an original French pressing. This is a Japanese pressing without the obi. Albert Ayler, volume 1 of it's Nuit de la Fondation Maître. So I haven't spun this yet, but I'm looking forward to it. He does Spirits, Spirits Rejoice, Holy Family, In Hearts Only. Would have liked to have the French pressing, but happy to have this Japanese pressing. This I really enjoyed. Paulino Del Costa, cheap record, Agora. So some Brazilian vibes. Who do you have on here? No one that I really know. But this is from 1977, recorded in 76. Definitely recommend you guys pick this one up. This one is on Pablo Records. Got this one on Pablo Records as well. This is one of the ones I would have just completely skipped over. It was pulled out by David. And I also saw that Chris Cole, you had posted this a while ago on Instagram. So Leblon Beach, the Al Gaffa Quintetto. And this is from 1976 with Kenny Barron on piano, Al Foster on drums, Ben Brown on bass, and Azzedine Weston on percussion. And this, my friends, for the price, really, really nice record for me, myself, anyways. He's a guitarist, yeah, Al Gaffa is a guitarist, and don't always love guitar-led jazz, but he played with Dizzy Gillespie here, it says, yeah. Definitely recommend that one. Picked up a world record. As I was on my way out, just popped into the world section and decided to grab this one. They had a few from the label. This is the one I chose to get. Disque Vogue, another French label. And this is Musique Malinké from Guinea. Couldn't tell you anything about it other than I spun it and I really dug it. Not an expert when it comes, well, not an expert in anything really, but particularly not in this type of African music. But this is cool shit. This one I listened to the first side this morning. I enjoyed it, but it didn't like blow me away. Really, I enjoy the cover's funny. This picture's good. Dave Burrell, After Love, on America Records, another French jazz label. This one has Alan Silva, Ron Miller, Don Moy, Roscoe Mitchell, Michel Gladieux, Bertrand Gauthier. I don't know what year it's from. I want to say early 70s would be a good guess. I'll give this one a few more spins, obviously, but didn't blow me away. But good music. It's free, so if you're not into free jazz, you're not gonna like that. Rufus Harley, Tribute to Courage. I really enjoy this. I know people don't like the bagpipes, but on this they work for me. I find them very like it's soulful, it's soul jazz, but it has this like far-reaching spiritual jazz feel that just works for me. There's some tracks that are better than others or have more of that feel that really kind of reaches deep, but I know the record to get from Rufus Harley is Recreation of the Gods, but this one's not very expensive and I really enjoyed it. So what I would say is this one's online, you can listen to it. The tracks, A Tribute to Courage, JFK, Side 2, Ali, X, and particularly About Train are, to me, beautiful, beautiful songs. So I recommend this, and I really like the cover as well as the title of the album, A Tribute to Courage. This is the other Jazzman that I picked up, Jazzman Holy Grail series number 25, and this is Yakal Inkomo Mankunku Quartet. So it's from South Africa. It's a unfindable record, for me anyways, super rare, but it is stunning. I really, really enjoyed this. It's from, I want to say, the late 60s. I don't know that it says on here, but it was re-released last year, 2017, by Jazzman Records, UK jazz label, who does reissues as well as putting out new jazz music from artists like Nat Birchall, who has a new record coming out, who I love. But yeah, definitely recommend this. Got 3 more here. Larry Vukovic. It's funny to hear that name because I had a friend when I was a kid named Vukovic who, no idea what happened to him, disappeared off the face of the earth. This is Blue Balkan, and I really, really enjoyed this. This is another one that Dave pulled out for me. So you have Bobby Hutcherson on here. I want to say this is, yeah, it's on Inner City from 1980. You have Eddie Marshall, only on one track, and Bobby Hutcherson playing vibes and marimba, depending on the track. For, I think it was $3. Not a very nice cover, but really good music. Definitely Larry Vukovic, Blue Balkan, recommend that. Ronnie Matthews doing the thing with Freddie Hubbard. And this is a, I guess like a, I think it's a second press, but from the same year that it came out. Anyway, it's on the Blue Trident label. I think the original's on the earlier label. And this is a stereo pressing, so not the more collectible one, but the more affordable one. And this, I was like, I hadn't listened to it. I was like, do I need that? Do I want that? Not essential, well, depending on what you're into, but I was very pleasantly surprised by the music on this, particularly one of the sides, and I think it was side 1. I was not expecting it to sound like this at all. Side 2 was a bit more like, it was okay, but it didn't impress me as much. But yeah, so this is cool. Check it out. I'm sure you can find it online. So musicians: Ronnie Matthews on piano, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, of course, Charles Davis on baritone sax, Eddie Kahn on bass, and Albert Heath on drums. So yeah, this is cool. From, I think it's 1964, could be 63, but I think it's 64. And last but not least, this is another reissue I picked up. They had the same discount on used and new, which was 25%. This is one that I'd seen. This is from tapes, Awesome Tapes from Africa. Hailu Mergia, and the Walias, Ethiopian instrumentals. I don't have a lot of Ethiopian jazz or Ethiopian music, but I really enjoy the vibe, enjoy the sound. This is one that had been recommended to me, so I picked this up, and yeah, enjoyed listening to this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I also picked up a couple numero group Eccentric Soul. Well, one Eccentric Soul and another one is like Detroit kind of gospel bluesy soul stuff. But anyway, always enjoy those. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Long video. If you guys are still with me, stay safe, everyone. Drive safe if you live. If you're living through this storm, if you're in the West Coast or down south, Midwest, wherever, Europe. Anyway, peace.